Hello YouTube, this is going to be a new style of video for me. We're going to do our best to make this intro pretty concise and short. We're going to call this bagel time because I'm munching on a cinnamon raisin bagel with peanut butter right now. And maybe we'll do more of these in the future. I'm not going to try to schedule it, but it's happening right now, so we're going to make it happen. As you can tell by the title of this video, this is mostly about taking success that you may have gained by investing a lot of effort in one particular category, and then deciding that that's not what you want to focus all of your attention on. I want to focus on something else. Before we get into the crux of why I think this is just a difficult thing to do in general, I think it would be helpful to give a little bit of my perspective and explain why I feel like I'm in a good position to be thinking through these ideas. For the last 10 years, I've been a professional marching band snare drummer and percussion teacher. I've gone through the process of feeling like I didn't know anything about music or drums from the beginning of high school, and gradually learning how to speak the language and be fluent in the language of drums, perform at a high level, perform at the upper echelon of what I feel like the snare drum activity was, and become somewhat of a respected teacher, enough to where people ask me questions about drums on a pretty regular basis. And after all of that time doing that thing, I don't want to do it all the time. So this has put me in this position where I'm trying to do the thing that I'm talking about in this video. I've invested 10 years of quality effort and really good attention at getting good at the thing. And now I have to do this new thing. For a lot of people, this can be a really daunting thing because you feel like you're starting from square one. Let's hit on that for a second. Why does this feel so daunting? First reaction is that thing that we've already identified. That feeling that we've invested a lot of time and attention towards this one particular thing, and now that we want to move our attention towards thing number 2, we have to start from square one. That's definitely not the most constructive way to look at it, because it's lacking acknowledgement of all of the things you gained by getting good at thing number 1. There are so many good things you get out of the experience of getting good at the first thing that helps propel you into thing number 2. Sorry, buddy. And the second reaction, I kind of put on the polar opposite side of the spectrum. You absolutely acknowledge the fact that you're really good at thing number 1. It breeds enough of an ego within you to believe that you're just inherently going to be good at thing number 2. I feel that for me, as I go through this type of transition, I have to be very keenly aware of my balance between those two polar opposite types of reactions. I think there's one anecdotal type of question that is very helpful for me in thinking about something like this, and I have it written down here. It's, if you could go back 10 years and keep the knowledge you have, would you? Asking this particular question puts you in a state of mind where you have to acknowledge that you have a massive upper hand. It would not be starting from square one. You would probably be the most OP teenager at any school that you go to with 10 years of experience. But all of this is good. Now we're in a state of mind to where we can think back to our original challenge and actually approach it in some sort of constructive way. And so now you're in a place to think back through the whole process you went through with thing number 1. Ask yourself, at each of these points where I had to take these steps, how much better would I be at it now? Take the confidence that's being freely handed to you. Lean into the experience that you have and do your best to utilize it in a way that's helpful and effective. I believe a lot in perspective and mental framing, and I know for me, it can be the wall that stops me from going after something the way that I know I am absolutely capable of doing. As a 10-year drum teacher, I feel like I've gained a lot of valuable communication skills that absolutely put me in a better position to pursue something like broadcasting. I really enjoy quality discussion and other people's perspectives on a topic like this, and I have a couple things that I'm pushing out in order to help facilitate more of that. Down below in the video description, we're going to have an invite link to a new Discord server, and you guys can just be more involved in what I'm doing with the content creation process and all of the new stuff that I have coming out. We will also be updating the tiers on our Patreon, so if you want to have your hand directly in the type of content we make, or these discussion videos, that is the place to go and subscribe. I feel bad. I didn't even finish my bagel for bagel time, but I think it'll just be a nice catchy title anyway. So, cinnamon raisin bagel with peanut butter. Go try it if you haven't. That's all I got for this one. Zach Watson, signing off.